Here we are, right on time, 3 p.m. in Geneva, Switzerland. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am here with Charlotte Mbu, and she is the mistress of ceremonies for this Women Who Deliver Vaccines session. She has not worked alone. She has joined a collective of women she's going to introduce, and then we are going to spend this session really sharing experience together. Charlotte, how are you feeling about this session, and how many of your sisters can you see in the room?
Very much, Reda, and once again, warm welcome to everyone to this historic, I call it historic event, because it's the first time we are organizing an event in celebration of the International Women's Day for women who deliver vaccines. We did that last year, but it was just Reda and I who put our heads together. But this time around, we're joined by a collective of 143 women from 38 different countries. And I want to say hello to all of my sisters that are already in the room. I see so many of them are here, and I want to thank them for the great mobilization, brother.
All right, wonderful. All right, so your first, I was struck when you put together the slide deck for this session, Charlotte. Your first slide asks a harsh question, so we can all read what's on the slide. What does it mean to you?
It's just really about giving voice to women, rather, because one thing we know is if our health system is moving forward, if immunization is succeeding, it is because there are so many women that are working at the background with the support of men, of course, but are working on the front line at all levels of the health system to ensure that those who need vaccines get them. So I thought it was important that we should come together to honor and celebrate these women, to listen to their stories, get them share their experiences, and why not shoulder their burdens together. Remember, you just said that if we want to walk far, we have to walk together. Thank you so much, brother.
Right, and the first quote, recognition of women is necessary for the vaccination program to achieve its goals. We'll be sharing some of these quotes, and they are from the organizing committee, as Charlotte said, of 143 women from 38 countries, alumni of the Geneva Learning Foundations program that have decided to come together to organize this event. Very quickly, we're going to go check a few messages from the social media channels where this session is being live streamed now. For my Izzat Abdallah, check your email, dear Mai. The Zoom link is in there, but you're welcome to join also to keep watching from LinkedIn. Sharish Shahid from Pakistan, Deepak Kumar Patro, Farhan Ali from Djibouti, and then let's check in the Teach to Reach space itself. We have many introductions, so let's see here. If you're trying to find where this is in the Hop-In space, go to the stage. Samuel Okijiola, greetings to you. Jamilatu Mohammed from Nigeria, happy to meet you mothers with strong heart. Pervaz Youssef from Islamabad, Pakistan. Elizabeth Atijegbe from Nigeria. Joyce Moriti, all right, who says, I can't hear. Okay, try clicking on the arrow button in the middle. That's Joyce from the USA. Bala Mohammed Al-Hassan from Zamfara, Nigeria. Welcome to you. Jenny Sequeira from the USA. Great to join this Teach to Reach event. Ukeme was a community health practitioner, works in a private hospital. That's just a small sampling of who is joining Teach to Reach. Let's go for the second quote, Charlotte. What does this one say?
Okay, thank you, Reda. If we could integrate women at all levels of decision making and give them responsibilities, they would be the best leaders for immunization.
And we have Wenwosan Tekle Mariam Nibabe, who says hello everyone. So tell us, Wenwosan, why are you joining in solidarity with Women Who Deliver Vaccines? What do you do? Where are you connecting from? Tell us more so we can include your voice in this remarkable story. Now we're going to dive right in, and we'd like to hear now from Women Who Deliver Vaccines and to share your testimonial of your immunization journey. Now, we have, of course, members of the organizing committee who will speak, but we also have many who shared interesting stories And we first want to understand who you are. Some of you have documented, shared how you overcame a gender barrier, how you faced a gender barrier, something that prevented men, women, girls or boys from accessing immunization services. So we're going to be talking about those two things, your journey as a woman who delivers vaccines, and then also your story about gender barriers. Charlotte, who is going to be our first speaker today? I can't wait to hear this sharing of experience with women present from all over the world.
Thank you so much, Reda. So my first speaker already has a mic unmuted. It is Maureen Assemble. So I'm going to turn over to you, Maureen, if you can just go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll go through the questions.
Thank you, Charlotte. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to be here. My name is Maureen Assemble from Kenya. Yes, I work in the NGO sector as a program manager implementing immunization, supporting health facilities, and organizing community outreaches.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to ask, Reda, can you put up the questions or just paste them also on the chat? So, Maureen, can you tell us how many years have you worked in immunization?
Thank you so much, Charlotte. Actually, in the immunization space, I'm up to 7 years implementing immunization programs.
And where you work, how many health professionals are women and how many are men? And what does working with each gender mean to you?
Thank you so much. Actually, in the program, we have a mixture of gender. Like we have 5 women and 4 men. So a total of 9 working in the program.
And what has been the best part of your work as a woman who delivers vaccine? And I already know from you already said you are a leader in your position. So what has been the best part for you as a woman?
Thank you so much. Actually, the best part for me as a woman in leadership, it has been seeing lives being changed at the community level, like people in the geographical areas which cannot be reached, being able to access vaccination. To me, actually, that's a motivation, which makes me to know that we have kids who are having lives because of the immunization being provided at the community level. Because most parts of the country of Kenya, they are unreachable. We have vast areas where actually accessing them, it is a bit difficult. But as a program, we usually make sure that we organize targeted immunization outreaches in those areas, and we've seen influx of numbers. So to me, actually, that is usually a motivation to continue working in the immunization space.
And if there was something you had to change to have a better work experience, what would that be? That's my last question for you.
Thank you so much. Actually, if we could something to change, okay, like in Kenya, if we could reduce the number of unreached children to 0, that one, it will make me happy. It will make me happy because we want to curb cases of unimmunized children from dying and contracting diseases which hinder them actually socially, politically, and economically in their future. So if we prevent it right now when they are still children, it will make a better difference in their lives and at the global at large.
Thank you so much, Maureen.
Thank you, Charlotte.
All right, we have a lot of messages coming in. We have a lot of messages and a lot of music coming in as well. Let's see. I've showed some of the messages. Thank you for this first very moving testimonial. Pervez Yousaf from Pakistan says, according to him, this is the best movement for immunization. You have started and we are with you. I would turn that back to you, dear Pervez, and so many others who are here. Fousseini Dembele, pour les francophones, c'est déjà terminé. And then Zakari Sani, tell us more. What do you think of this group of women who deliver vaccines who are speaking today? And I see many more joining the room. Back to you, Charlotte, to guide us to the next speaker. And please do introduce yourself. Yeah, go ahead, Charlotte.
Thank you, Reda. I want to turn towards Peace Chidima Ilo. Peace, I don't know if you're able to unmute. Go ahead and do so. I'm asking you to unmute yourself. And once you do so, you have the floor. Okay, so please, your mic is already unmuted. Please start by introducing yourself and tell us how long you have worked in immunization.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Ilopis Chidima from Enugu State, Nigeria. I've been about 5 years in immunization section.
Okay, so where you work, where are you working precisely, and how many of the professionals you work with are women, how many are men?
Okay, I work with WHO Enugu State, Nigeria as a local government facilitator in one of the local governments, and we have a lot of, the gender is almost equal. But we have more men than women working with us.
And what does it mean working with each of these gender? How is the experience like?
Yeah, it's a good experience anyway. But I wish that more women will also be part of the process. We have more women, we have more men than women, and I wish that we have more women in the system. But
okay, so what has been the best part of your work as a woman who delivers vaccine?
Yeah, the best part has been ability to see other women that are disenfranchised in the community, okay, and encouraging them from the female perspective, okay, sensitizing them and letting them understand the reason for this vaccination and the need to vaccinate their children and the outcome of being fully immunized.
Okay, if there was something you had to do to change, to have a better work experience as a woman, what would that be?
And that would be including more, sensitizing more men, especially at the local government area, sensitizing more men and including them in most of the things we are doing at the moment when it has to do with vaccination. Then encouraging more women to join this movement.
Yeah, so why do you want more women to join the movement? Why do you wish?
Yeah, because when we have more women, it gives security to the women in the facility at the facility level, and then it also helps them to understand that it's not a man's world, because from this sector of the world, sometimes we see it as a man's world. So, but most women, when they see more women, they will be encouraged. There will be more sensitization. They will open up more, and then also women will also be liberated from most of these gender norms that makes women to get into hiding and stuff.
Thank you very much, Peace, for sharing your experience as a woman who delivers vaccines with us.
Thank you.
This message from Ayuba Balas struck me. Obviously, I'm sharing it on screen. Double click where you see the scholar team name to see it. Ayuba says women who deliver vaccines are heroines. And we also have some thanks for the first testimonial from Maureen. Wonderful. And
thank you so much, Reda. And whether there are some comments here in the Zoom studio in the chat that I want to highlight. First comment from Wailing that says, great, promoting gender equity in immunization activities is crucial for the development of the immunization status. And Boma Otobo from MPH-CDA Abuja, working as Deputy Program Manager for NERIC in Nigeria, says women to men ratio in my organization is about 40 to 60. Women will carry other women better as they are the direct caregivers. Thank you so much, and thanks to all those who are leaving their comments in the chat. So, Reda, I think we are going to Yes,
we have
Reda?
more messages coming in, Charlotte. Before we go to the next testimonial, I just want to see what's come in. I actually haven't looked at these yet. So Joseph Ngugi, who just says, great presentation from Kenya. That was for Maureen's presentation. Dr. Mansour, who just writes his name. Tell us who you are, what you think of women, and what you have to say in solidarity of women who deliver vaccines. More great representation from Kenya. All right, so participants are just catching up. Sean Awokulude says, very wonderful presentation. Women who deliver vaccines are very important and play a very important role in immunization uptake. All right, Burema explains it's over for the Francophones. Keep the fire burning, says Eunice Tangwam. And Marta Ngo says, hello, women, keep moving. Joseph.
So great.
All right, there's more. There's a lot of messages,
yeah.
Charlotte. We're going to stop here, okay, so you can get back. Let's go. Let's keep pushing forward with the event. Go ahead.
I feel like reading some of the messages here, but we have to listen to testimonials. And I always want to turn towards Maria Fernanda Monzon, that is our representative from Argentina, that's Latin America. I want her to share with us her experience as a woman who delivers vaccines. Welcome, Maria.
Hi, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. My name is Maria Fernanda Monzon. I am from Argentina. I'm from Corrientes, a small city in the north. I work at the local level. I'm a pediatrician, and I run a health center. I'm the director of a small health facility. I'm very involved in immunizations, of course, and I'm very proud to be part of this group where we are all fighting to have women more in the spotlight, because yes, of course, we are important, very important factors in immunization.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, how long have you worked in immunization?
Well, for around 5 years now. I've done some international campaigns, and now I'm working back in my hometown. I've worked in Haiti for some time, and I've worked in Guatemala too. But now I'm back here in my hometown.
I'm sure you have worked with several men and women. How has been your experience working with both genders?
Well, I obviously with men are here and everywhere, always in I feel like in a better position than women. We have an opinion, and we have to emphasize it and give more details to be taken into account, and men maybe just go along with it and there's no problem. That's my general experience in every country that I've worked. Like, I have to prove myself even more because I'm a woman.
And what has been the best part of your work as a woman who delivers vaccines?
Well, the best part for sure is working with other people that share the same vocation, the same, need to, and the knowledge that you have to reach every kid in every single corner. And I think that's what, just at the end of the day fills your heart with joy, when you know that you've done a good job and that there's a lot of people working hard, even if they're not noticed.
Okay, thanks, Maria. And if there was something you had to change to have a better work experience, what would that be?
I would give more power to women. I think that's the thing that I could do. Bring more women to the table where the decisions are being made. I would bring them all.
Why do you think that is important?
Well, because women are as capable and sometimes more capable than men, that we are also fighting frontlines workers everywhere, and that our voices are sometimes not heard just because of our gender. So it's important for all of us to have same opportunities and to have everybody hear us out.
Thank you very much, Maria. And right now, I think we need to, some hand clap for Maria and all those who are leaving their comments in the chat in response to that.
We have a ton of messages coming in, really striking a chord here. Cynthia Adiasani, now this is interesting. She says from Ghana, she works in a hospital in an urban area where reaching the population is not so much of a problem. Men and women are encouraged to come for immunization for both babies, children, and adults. Outreach programs are effective as well. Perhaps an important message there. Cynthia, be interested in hearing what is your specific experience as a woman. How do you feel about as a woman who is involved in vaccine delivery? Joseph Ngugi says to Peace, our previous presenter, a testimonial, nice presentation. Sohini Sanyal says, women play an incredible and important part in every aspect of a society. When it comes to immunization, it's women building a better world by providing better health to millions. It's a privilege to be a part of this, and definitely I'm always in awe of the women around the globe overcoming so many challenges to continue immunization programs every day. Back to you, Charlotte.
Thank you so much, Reda. And there are so many comments that are still coming in the chat.
Yes.
In the Zoom studio. Just keep your comments coming, and then we'll see if we can turn towards them. And I also see there is a woman here, Maria Musa. Her hand is raised. I just want to turn towards her, and other women who deliver vaccines that are in the room. If you want to take the floor, go ahead. Don't hesitate to raise your hand. I'll be delighted to turn towards you. So Maria Musa, I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself. If not, I'm going to turn towards another woman in the room. I'm going to invite Monica and Tini. Monica, Tini, are you able to unmute yourself? If yes, please go ahead and do so. Okay, but I see Miriam Musa is already unmuted.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Monica, please go ahead. Please tell us who you are, where you're joining from, and what you do.
All right, I'm Monica Ntini, a District of Promotion Officer from Zimbabwe. I now have 2 years experience in immunization programs.
Okay, so 2 years experience. So where you work, how many women are there? How many men are you working with?
Okay, most of the population are women. I can say it's 80% to 20% ratio, women being 80%.
And what has been your experience like working both with men and women?
Okay, I've seen that women, hello, can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, okay. I've seen that women have a great impact on the effectiveness of the immunization program. However, it has made men now being reluctant on these immunization programs, leaving it for the women, making it difficult for those places where there are few women to provide the services or come for the services.
Okay.
And this is becoming a barrier.
And are there women in your leadership team?
Yes, there are few of them though.
Okay. And what has been the best part of your work as a woman who delivers vaccines?
Okay, the best part is mobilizing people to come for vaccination, and also demystifying the myths on vaccine in all the local languages understood by the community. It has become the best part of my work, whereby people come after mobilization has been done, and also they can be able to understand the need for these vaccines.
Okay, thanks. And if there was one thing you had to change to have a better work experience, what will that be?
Okay, that is making or working in this immunization program to have it a 50% ratio, whereby we say men to have
hello, Monica.
Oh, okay. To involve more men in these immunization programs.
Okay, so why do you think it's important to involve more men in the immunization program?
Oh, all right. I've seen that though women have great impact on the effectiveness of this program, women are vulnerable to violence and also bullying, leading them, some of them missing the schedules for leading children missing their vaccination schedules. And that's why I would rather prefer that more men also should be involved in this immunization program.
Thank you so much, Monica, for joining us today. I think we are going to put our hands together virtually for her, as well as all those other women in the vaccine. Over to you, Reda.
All right, Charlotte, we have lots going on again. Way too many comments to share. Let me just show a few. Majority of women spend more time with children, hence confidence, trust is achieved. That is Dr. Kennedy Muna's comment. June Ojuku says male involvement in child vaccination is important to show both responsibilities in child vaccination. We have more folks introducing themselves. A lot of supportive comments to the speakers sharing their testimonials. Ukasha Musa Hashim, nice talk, Maria. In addition, I think involving women will be better because mostly women care for children, and when women talk to them, it will have more impact. That is Ukasha Musa Hashim's opinion. Pervez Youssef shares we're working hard an increasing number of the female frontline workers in Pakistan. However, we have some women working at key positions in EPI but need more. And Cynthia, whom we heard from previously, well, women are respected in the delivery of vaccines. Women form a large part of the provision of vaccination. It may be a 4 to 10 ratio of women to men for her. Now, the collective of women we have heard, whom we will hear from, as well as other women who are joining this event for the first time, has put together the following statement. Charlotte, could you read this for us? Who are these women who deliver vaccines? What do you and the 143 women who created this collective of women mean by that?
We work in health facilities, districts, regions, and in the national team. We are nurses, doctors, community health workers. Some of us are senior decision makers. Others do the daily work of vaccination that makes the difference between children, families, and communities being protected from diseases. Wherever we work, whatever our rank or status, we are women who deliver vaccines.
All right, as we progress, we're now almost at the halfway mark, Charlotte, and we know that we have invited members of the Movement for Immunization Agenda 2030 who shared a story of how they were confronted with a barrier that prevented women, men, girls, boys from accessing immunization services in the same way. That's what we mean by gender barriers to immunization. I believe we have a number. Let me see, first of all, pull up the questions. And there's quite an extensive list of questions, Charlotte. And I'd like to ask if you have a gender barrier story and are keen on sharing it, please do raise your hand. Charlotte, over to you. Who shall be our first speaker testimonial for this second segment on gender barriers? We've heard about the experiences of women. And for those of you, because there's so many hands raised and so many comments, for those of you who have not gotten to share yet, at the end of this plenary, we'll be inviting you to a special room in Hopin that we've set up for women who deliver vaccines, and you'll be able to keep sharing testimonials. We have 2 other ways for you to continue sharing your experience, because we know this event is limited in time and we want everyone to be able to have a voice. Over to you, Charlotte.
Thank you so much, Reda. So like Reda just said, if you have a gender-related story you want to share in immunization, go ahead. But for my first guest today is Yewande Ogunkwade Christiana. Your mic is already unmuted. Please go ahead and tell us who you are and where you're joining from, and then share your story with us.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, my name is Yewande Ogunkwade and I'm a nurse. I currently work at the United Nations Isolation Center in Nigeria, and I also double as the medical administrator for the COVID-19 vaccination for United Nations staffs in Abuja, which is the capital city of Nigeria. Okay, so I'll just be sharing a little story on gender barrier to immunization that I encountered during my experience working as a nurse. So sometime in 2020, there was a set of twins whom have been coming to take their immunization in the clinic. And of course, they take these immunizations together as twins. They always do take every immunization or vaccine together. And then these twins, one was a male and the other was female. But when they were about 10 years old, they came to the clinic for a vaccine, for an immunization. And then it was apparently the Severix vaccine. So you all will agree with me that Severix vaccine is gender specific. Of course, there are other HPV vaccines that could be taken by males, but for Severix, it's only taken by females. And so, of course, I had to vaccinate only the female child. And her brother wasn't taking it lightly. He wanted to also get vaccinated. So I needed to do a lot of counseling, health educations on the anatomy, reproductive system, and the reason why this vaccine would only be taken by his sister and not him. So I saw that this barrier was gender specific because they were not informed, and because they've always been taking their immunizations together, and this vaccine was gender specific. I just needed to counsel, health educate, not only them, even their parents, in case of further vaccines and immunizations that are gender related. Hi, Charlotte.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I think, and if you have a story, gender-related story to share about gender barriers in immunization, do not hesitate to raise your hand. But before that, Reda, I think I'm just going to go on to our next so that we can get to listen to as many stories as possible. So I'll go on to our next speaker. I want to invite Martina Karimu. Martina Karimu, if you're able to unmute yourself, please go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Martina Karimu. I'm speaking from Ghana. Actually, I'm a nurse at the curative aspect of health, but then I went to school. I went to do public health at Legon, and whilst I was there, I had the opportunity to be in a class with some of nurses who work in the communities. And one of the stories from the Volta region, that is one of the regions in Ghana, was about the trocosi system, where women are made to serve the gods of certain areas in the Volta region as a result of maybe a sin a relative has done. So in this case, the women are sent to the shrine, where the priest is mainly the head and actually takes these women as wives. So in the event where the women get pregnant and even in pregnancy and after giving birth, the children are not vaccinated. And even in the pregnancy, the women do not gain any sort of health service, because before you be able to gain access to the women, the priest might require you to perform certain rituals, which, even though you're a health worker, sometimes it doesn't really sit well with most of us. And then there are situations whereby the woman would also have to sneak out of the community, because it's like a shrine, but then it's a whole community on its own, even in the midst of a large area. So usually some of them are able to sneak themselves out in order to get the vaccination, or you either stay in the community and your child does not get vaccinated. So in this case, where the women are restricted in making their own decisions, it makes immunization in that kind of area very difficult, and that is what I have to share. It's been going on for a long while, and there seem to be no kind of solution to it, since it's, apart from it being a gender-based issue, it's also more of a religious issue, and people in Ghana actually take religion quite seriously. So it's kind of a problem when it comes to having like going on immunization campaigns and all that. That is something I have to share with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martina Karimu, for sharing this story with us. Red, I think I'll take a pause here if there are any comments from our
there are
social
lots of
media
comments, believe me.
platforms.
Yeah. There is, yeah. All right. Charlotte, yeah. While you regroup for our next speaker, and just let me clarify, these speakers are sharing their testimonial. Each one is expressing their personal opinion. Now, I do want to share important information. It's obvious there are many of you who are here in the room who we are going to run out of time before you can share your testimonial. We believe your story is important, it matters, and so we've planned that we figured out 3 ways in which you can continue discussion after this plenary. So first of all, you can go, of course, to the networking in Hopin. And here, this is you can see there's many people networking right now. So you go to Hopin, you have a discussion guide that we've shared with you to help you, but you may not need it. Just talk about what matters to you, what challenges you're facing, what solutions you found in the process. So that is option 1. Second option is to discuss with a small group of colleagues. So if you now go to the sessions here, if you're in Hopin, leave networking, go to sessions, and you will see right at the top is this space for women who deliver vaccines. And in fact, there's already 6 people there. And this is a space for group discussion. It is not moderated. So you can just join and you will see, let's go see here, there are already people who have joined and are in fact discussing the women who deliver vaccines topic. And last but not least, this one is maybe technically a little bit more, may seem complicated. If you're in the Teach to Reach Telegram group, just hit the little microphone icon and record your testimonial. Share your story if you don't get to share it today. And that will then enable everyone who is attending Teach to Reach to listen to it and to share back their thoughts on it. So I think that's it, Charlotte, from me. Back to you for our next speaker.
Thank you so much, Reda. Earlier on, I had invited Udzau Yusuf to speak. She wasn't able to unmute, but now I see that she's unmuted. So Udzau Yusuf, please, can you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, where you work, what you do, and share your story with us.
Good evening, all. I'm Udzau Yusuf. I'm a pharmacist. I presently work in University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, but during my residency training in public health pharmacy, I actually met so many women in the primary health care that came for immunization for their children, but then they told us about many other women that were not allowed to come by their spouses. The men feel there is no need for immunization, there is no need for antenatal. Once you come for maybe antenatal or immunization, it's a pathway, it's like a gateway that you come for other healthcare services. But these women are forbidden from attending antenatal services or going for immunization. So these children are just there, and when they have these vaccine-preventable illnesses, they are given maybe concoctions, or they say it's spiritual or something else. So that's really a challenge here in Borno State, Maiduguri, where there's high level of illiteracy and lack of awareness. So that's really
in that situation, what did you do to get to encourage those women to join or to get their spouses to allow them to come for antenatal care and immunization services?
Okay. Actually, I think that one is more in my own case. We actually had a meeting, so we each time they come, we encourage them to talk to us, ask questions, but then to also meet their colleagues. If the men, if they feel there are women, their wives are going to meet other women there at the center, I think they are more comfortable. But at times they don't even allow them at all. So if they can go to those houses, and then if some of us mobilize in such a way that
Rather, it seems as
you
if we
visit, you dress the winter. If you enter the house, you can really talk to them. But then it even goes beyond us. It goes to the youth, the ward heads, the religious leaders, so that that form of advocacy, so that the people are enlightened. The youth, the men feel they now know the importance of maybe allowing their women, why they should allow their wives or sisters or their relatives to really come for those. So it really calls for constant education, encouragement, and advocacy. We have started in our own little way, but then although it's going a long way, but we really have to keep on doing that.
Thank you very much, Udao Yusuf, for sharing this testimonial with us. I think I'm just going to connect directly with Shah Faisal. Shah Faisal, if you can unmute yourself to introduce yourself and share your story, answer the question that we set for you. Over to you. Please, can you tell us who you are, where you're joining from, and what you do?
Thank you very much. I'm Shah Faisal. I'm working from last 15 years in different part of the countries, and here I have worked about 3 years in Nigeria, one of the state known as Katsina, immunization programs. And definitely, what you say that definitely that was very important. The gender is very important, and there was a lot of like biasness, like gender discriminations and gender disparities in immunization programs. When we talk about, then I have been giving example to the polio immunization, routine immunizations, and even the COVID. Now we are working on the COVID. There's a lot of like stigma, there's a lot of like misconceptions, as much informations in the community also. So I am giving the experience while working within India and Nigeria also, that a lot of like confusion regarding that importances and report regarding that vaccination efficacies of like have been developed also. So when doing immunization activities at various level in the communities, people are just talking about that one. So sometimes they give the vaccinations to only to the female children, not to the male children. Avoid have the misconceptions regarding the importances. So they usually that given the vaccinations to the female children, not given to the male children, because of they think that in a larger and later life of their when they grown up, their child, they can there is definitely there is important in the female also. And male and children also. So and there is a lot of like religious, social, and cultural stigma related to the these vaccinations. We have done a lot of like mobilization. We have done a lot of communications activities, even at various level from the WHO, from the UNICEF. A lot of like development partners has done a lot of efforts regarding the risk communications. But media and these type of social medias play vital messages if you talk about the COVID vaccinations. Because of a lot of like what like currently we are facing a lot of buzz in giving information, because a lot of hesitancy taking the COVID vaccination also. People saying that after 2 years people will die after these vaccinations, so they will give the vaccinations to female, not giving to the male children also. So this is the gender disparity and gender biasness among the community also.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing this, Shafesa. We are going to take a pause, maybe to take a look at the comments that we have on our various platforms.
Thanks, Charlotte. And also, I understand that this is a collective of women who deliver vaccines, but you have called for the solidarity of men to speak out in favor of overcoming these gender barriers. Let's go now see what's happening. So again, too many messages to share them all. We'll be sharing in the follow-up, of course, Promise Onaibe, who says women are very important in the field of immunization. They are more in the grassroots, they're more in community social activities, and they're close to the children because they made up 100% of caregivers. So let's see what else. Jamila Mobi, in this case, you need to organize compound meeting with the mothers. So that's a response to one of the presentations. Rosemary Onibe says, glad to be in this great event. We need to begin to think of using mothers and grandmothers as powerful sensitization agents to educate and sensitize the males in areas where women need to seek the husband's consent for immunization. And then women need to be encouraged to take child vaccination to the next level. I'm going to stop here, Charlotte. Back to you for our next presentation.
Brother, I am going to invite Loretta Akupeme, whose hand has been raised for a while now. Loretta, okay, your mic is already unmuted. Please go ahead.
Good morning, good evening, everybody. My name is Loretta, and I work in Nigeria as an NGO personnel. I visit a lot of primary health cares, and in the process of visiting them, most of the people I meet or workers I meet in primary health centers are women, and they are actually the people that delivers the vaccines to the community people. And what I have also noticed is that a lot of them are trusted by the community people because they are always communicating and coming with their challenges. And in the process of visiting those primary health centers, I've also been able to interact with a lot of the women, either the pregnant women or the ones that are coming with their children, for immunization. And in that process, we have shared a lot of experiences. They have, told their problems. They have shared their problems. Mostly, they are afraid of the side effects of some of the vaccines. Like the ones they said that their children took vaccines and they had side effects. Some of them had to go with, boils and all that.
Loretta, please forgive me for interrupting you, but I just wanted to ask specifically in terms of gender-related barrier. What's the personal story that you have had to encounter while you go on the field to interact with healthcare providers?
The only challenge I have noticed mostly is that some women forget the vaccination sessions. So we're trying to encourage the men, their husbands, to support them by at least helping them to remember, maybe remind them, and as well support them to go to the health centers. If you can't at least stay with them at the health centers, you can at least take them to the health centers for those of them that have cars, and for those who does not have, give them transport fares, assuming they can't walk to that place. Maybe some of the health centers are not very close. They need to take transport to go to that place. So we encourage the men to assist the women by providing transportations to them. And if they can, go with them to the primary health centers to support them, to know so that they will understand that the process of immunization is important for the children. For the gender segregation as to vaccination, I haven't actually witnessed that, but I have heard stories about that, but I haven't actually witnessed that myself. So I cannot actually speak on that. But what I want to change is for me in my country, Nigeria, to encourage our government to please support these women that deliver vaccines. Because a lot of them have to leave their homes early in the morning and get back very late in the night. And at the end of the day, some of the months, they go home without their salaries. They go home without the remunerations, and it is not encouraging at all. If we must get a healthy community, then we must support our health workers to deliver their jobs very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coretta.
All right, Charlotte. We have
Still so many raised hands. I think we are celebrating and honoring women today. I want to turn towards other women who've had their hands raised for quite a while now. So I'm going to invite Roseline Trokpao Chesson. Roseline are you able to unmute? Yes, you are unmuted. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. And remember, we want you to share a personal story recently where a situation where you experienced gender-related barrier to immunization where you work. Roseline, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you all so much. It's good afternoon from my end, and I really admire the stories of the previous women. So this is an experience I had when I was serving as a consultant with UNICEF for the NOPD round one.
Please, can you start by introducing yourself?
Sorry. So I'm Roseline Trokpao. I'm from Liberia. I'm a nurse and a public health expert in Liberia. I currently work for an NGO called Americas, but this story I'm about to explain is relative to a consultancy I did with UNICEF in Liberia. So I did a consultancy for the NOPD 2 round 1 vaccine. I served as consultant for vaccine accountability. While we were doing the tracking, following up with the women or the team in the field who were delivering the vaccine, there was this lady. It was so pathetic. They had to walk from one village to the other, far distances, and she was on her time. She got very weak from the sun. We had to give her really help and ask her to sit and work. It's a work that everybody would do, but she wasn't prepared for that period to do that work. So that's my experience with the gender issue and delivering vaccine in the field.
Okay, thank you. If I got your story Roseline, the woman was a healthcare worker, was a vaccinator, if I got you right?
Yes.
Okay, and she had to walk long distances. That is normally a work that could have been done by a man easily.
Yeah. And then besides that, she was on her period, so she became dehydrated, she became weak. So for that time, she wasn't fit for the field.
Okay, thank you so much for the story. And I'm going to go right away. I'm turning right away to Christine Bolanle. Christine Bolanle, your hand is also raised. Christy, okay, I see you have unmuted yourself already. Christy, please go ahead and unmute. I'm asking you to unmute again. I saw you were unmuted a while ago.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, wherever you are hearing me. I'm Christy Omidiji from Peace Heritage Foundation, Nigeria. I'm CSO Academia, health educator and gender advocate. I always monitor immunization for WHO at my state level. And from the experience, I realized that the impact of gender-related bias is more on women and children. The reason is these women, they don't believe they have power. Financially, they are down. Cultural bias is also there because there are some villages strongly they don't believe that their children should have immunization. We have some people that we always call them hard to reach. The village may be far from facilities, and if the health workers are not reimbursed, to go to deep down those areas is another challenge. And we are working more on their husbands to educate, because we create more awareness and sensitization for the men too, so that they'll be able to release their wives and children for the immunization. Presently, we are planning something because there is current project going on in my state in which my organization is also involved, or 0 dose penta vaccine. We realize that these people, we still have some children that have not received any vaccine at all. Some defaulted. So we are now thinking on the strategy that will attract these people to bring their children to the clinic for vaccine. We are now suggesting if we can have a program for them, that there will be a small gift for children vaccinated. Maybe their husband will allow their wives to come to center and do the vaccination for their children. There are a lot of things we need to share the experience with each other so that we'll be able to improve this in every area. And to build the purpose of coming together here, I believe we need to build the capacity of countries to recognize and analyze gender-related bias. It may vary in various countries. What transpires in Nigeria may not in other countries. So we need to work together globally and collaborate with partners, even other stakeholders that are not health-related, but we feel that they can be relevant. We need to work more now and extend our tentacles to others. Thank you.
I want to acknowledge and honor before we close this plenary session and explain what to do if we're sorry that I can't even count the number of hands raised here. But before we go, I'm going to explain to you how you can now go to a session to share your testimonial to make sure that your story is heard and shared with others. Here is the page developed with the collective of women who organized this event. I do want to honor them by showing the list of names of the organizing committee and reading the countries from Argentina, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Congo, India, Indonesia, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, the DRC, Egypt, Ethiopia, Gabon, Gambia, Ghana, Madagascar, Lebanon, South Sudan, Tanzania. You can see 38 countries altogether, right down to Zambia. And I'd like to ask you, I'm going to ask you to unmute. And I'm just going to ask everyone to unmute. And please, let's... I'd like to hear a round of applause. Alright, please put your hands, even if you're alone in front of the computer screen. Women who deliver vaccines. We're going to take everyone on your window just for a few seconds. Thank you so much. Now, what happens next? For those of you, if you'd like to if you would like to continue sharing in 2 minutes, first of all, we have an exciting session on the topic of motivation amongst health workers. So if you'd like to participate in that session, you don't have to go anywhere. It's going to happen here. But if you are thirsty for more, if you'd like to keep this discussion going, to continue sharing testimonials, and you are in Hopin, the time is now to go to these sessions. And if you go to sessions, you can see here I'm navigating on the platform, and in the sessions there's a space for women who deliver vaccines. I see there are already 10 scholars who are there who've already started the discussion, so you can share. All right, wonderful. You can see there is already a discussion happening.
Okay.
You can go to the sessions and continue. And then the other option we have for you is to actually get on the Telegram group. So if you manage to get on the Teach to Reach Telegram group, you can get on the group, and you'll see here that you can simply click on the little microphone at the bottom right of your phone, and just record yourself. Introduce yourself. You have the questions. We share them with you by email, and then you can share your story and listen to the stories of others as well. So we share more testimonials about women who deliver vaccines. Once again, thank you for having joined this exceptional event. If you want to attend the motivation session, you don't need to go anywhere. One final round of applause, and thank you, and goodbye.